There was a time I thought I was gone. Not just lost, gone. The kind of gone where your soul stops whispering your name and the world starts moving on without you. They buried me under the weight of my own pain. The dirt wasn't made of soil. It was made of memories, regrets, and the voices that said, I'd never make it out alive. I laid there for what it felt like forever. Eyes closed, heart heavy, faith fading. But even in that darkness, even in that silent grave of my own making, something moved, something ancient, something divine. A spark that refused to die. They called me broken, but broken things can still bleed. They called me lost, but lost things can still be found. And somewhere between the whispers of death and the cries of hope, I heard a voice that wasn't my own. It said, get up. That's when I realized God never left me. I left him. But he was right there, waiting in the dirt, patiently holding a candle for the day I'd finally open my eyes again. I remember that moment. The air tasting different. It wasn't peace I felt. It was war. Because when you come back from the dead, the first thing you feel is the battle between who you were and who you're becoming. I clawed my way out of that grave, one handful of pain at a time. My fingers bled. My lungs screamed. But the fighter in me, the one that I thought was gone, was still breathing. Barely, but breathing. And when I stood again, trembling but alive, I didn't rise as the man I used to be. That man was gone. He died in the silence. He died in the tears. He died in the moment I almost gave up. No, what rose that day wasn't him. It was something else. Something forged in fire and faith. Something stronger than the pain that built me. I became the resurrection of a fighter. Because resurrection isn't just about life after death. It's about pain, purpose after pain. It's about finding beauty in the ashes of your own destruction. It's about realizing that maybe God didn't abandon you. Maybe he was rebuilding you. Every scar became a scripture. Every tear became a testimony. And every breath became a prayer. I walked in the storms that should have ended me. I heard demons whisper my name like they owned it. But what they didn't understand is this. You can't claim something that belongs to God. You can't chain a soul that's already been freed. That fire inside me that there's a fire inside me that no one can extinguish. Not pain, not doubt, not even death. And if you're hearing this right now, if your heart is beating, if your eyes are wet and your chest is tight, then you felt that same darkness too. You've laid in your own grave and wondered if the world would even notice your silence. But I'm here to tell you, the silence is not your ending. It's your beginning. Because when God whispers, he doesn't just shout through light. Sometimes he speaks through fire. Sometimes he burns away the parts of you that can't go forward. And it hurts. But pain is the language of rebirth. So if you've fallen, rise again. If you fail, fight again. If they buried you, dig your own way out. Dig your own way out with your bare hands and let them see the dirt under your nails. Because The world loves to count out the broken, but God keeps score differently. I used to think my story ended in the darkness, but now I know the story began there. Because resurrection doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in chaos. It happens when your tears hit the floor and you whisper, God, I can't do this. And he whispers, you never had to do it alone. That's when I realized I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm living. I'm breathing proof that the human spirit cannot be buried alive. You can break my body. You can break my voice. But you will never kill my purpose. I am the storm that rose after the calm. I am the echo of every prayer that never got answered in the way I expected. I am the proof that faith still works in the ruins. I am not ashamed of where I've been, because my scars are the map that lead me home. So to every soul listening in the dark, to every fighter still clawing at the dirt, I want you to remember this. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. You are not alone. You are living. You are breathing. You are the living, breathing resurrection of your own fight. You are proof that broken wings still fly. You are the fire that never went out. And one day, when the world asks you how you made it, you'll look at them in the eyes and say, I died once, but I didn't stay dead. Because the fighter in you, the one that God handcrafted from dust and pain and purpose, can never be buried. Not by fear, not by failure, not by the lies that tell you you're not enough. The grave was never meant to hold you. It was meant to teach you how to rise. And as long as you're breathing, as long as you have faith in your heart and fire in your soul, you will rise again. Because I am the resurrection of a fighter, and so are you. So when they ask me who I am, I tell them this. I am proof that you can't kill what refuses to die. But hear me now. This story doesn't end in darkness. It ends in redemption. Because what was once broken is now whole. What was once lost has now been found. And what once felt like death was only the beginning of life. Redemption means you get another chance. A chance to love again, to believe again, to forgive yourself for all the things you thought disqualified you. Your scars don't disqualify you. They define you. They are reminders that pain can be holy when it leads to healing. So don't run from your past. Don't run from your reflection. Stand tall in the light and let the world see what God rebuilt from the ashes. You were never meant to die in the fire. You were meant to walk through it and come out glowing. That's redemption. That's grace. That's the power of a second chance. And no matter who you are, no matter how far you've fallen, no matter how heavy your chains, there's still hope. Hope that breathes. Hope that heals. Hope that calls your name when you've forgotten how to pray. So lift your head, fighter. The war is not over. You're still here for a reason. And one day you'll understand why God kept you breathing. And when everything else that tried to stop you Because even in your ruins, you were built, you were being built for redemption. You were being prepared for purpose. And when you finally rise, not just from the dirt, not from the doubt, not from the guilt, not from the shame, you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. It wasn't leading you out of the darkness. It was leading the darkness out of you. This is redemption. This is hope. This is life after death. And as long as there's a heartbeat in your chest, there's still time to rise. Because you are the resurrection of a fighter. And your story is just beginning.